All right, we are back talking about some more auction draft, and this time we got some players that are way down the list. We're going to call it our $1 auction draft gems. We got a couple guys that are way down the board that we really like and want to throw in our teams for this very low price point. So Jeff, who do you got? Who's on your list here?
The first guy that I'm going to talk about is actually a running back, and he's not going to play right away, but I love him for an insurance policy, and that is going to be Jalen Wright. He's going to be the third running back on Miami. You have Mostert in front of him. You have Achane. And look, he is another very physically gifted running back that kind of fits the bill as far as what that offense likes to do. We saw what Mostert was able to do, double-digit touchdowns. We saw what Achane was able to do as far as rushing yards, pretty much everything when he was healthy. Yep. But guess what? Mostert is very old at this point, especially for the running back position, and Achane has not been able to stay healthy. He's only been there for 1 year. I think that he does show up in games, and I think that he could carve out a role, and for less than $1, I mean, it's going to be $1, you can get this guy, and I think he is a very nice guy to have on your bench. Just wait and see. Hold on to him for a couple of weeks and find out.
Yeah, I mean, can Achane stay healthy? Mostert's old. Yeah, it's a good pick. He seems... I think any running back who gets a chance in that offense is going to be good. The way that seems to play. So yeah, he's under $1. I think that's a really good one. I like Jalen Wright there you can get him at the end of your drafts, $1, $2 tops, and I like that one. Throw him on the end of the bench for sure. All right, my first guy. I'm going to go with Zach Charbonnet because he's only $1, and I think last year people were really thinking he was going to split more than he ended up with Walker. He was going for way more dollars. But now for $1, again, another guy that you can just get there that I think he's going to get some more work this year. Walker's not going to do everything. But again, he's probably one of the best handcuffs out there in fantasy. For $1, literally his average on ESPN right now is 1.0. $1. He's like the 43rd running back off the board. I think if he got that opportunity, he could be a really good running back. And he had some good weeks. He showed some flashes. I think he can be pretty solid. $1. I'm getting him on a lot of teams at the end of my bench because I think there's just a good potential there. So Charbonnet, $1 for me. I like him.
I like that. I mean, I always like the guys that had a lot of hype and then it completely dies off.
And it wasn't even for really any...
just injury.
Yeah, he wasn't.
We didn't get
he wasn't
to see
bad.
him play. Yeah,
he wasn't bad. And yeah, he still ran for 462 yards last year in a touchdown. So not a lot, but he wasn't 4.3 yards per carry. Wasn't terrible. And we'll see what happens with Walker. So I like Walker better, obviously, but $1. Give me Charbonnet for a buck.
Right.
All right. Who else you got here?
I'm gonna go with my guy. I've been getting him in a lot of teams, and technically he could be $2. He could be $1, but that's Jameson Williams from the Lions.
I didn't pick him only because I was waiting.
Yeah.
I figured you would.
Look, he was a very high draft pick. The Lions have not been able to use him fully yet. He's going to be guaranteed the number 2 wide receiver slot. You have Amon-Ra, you have Laporta, you have a good backfield. You have everything around him that he doesn't have to be the guy, and he doesn't need 8 catches in a game to get his points. He needs 1. I mean, he is lightning in a bottle. We saw him be used at the end of last year a little more like I think we will. And, I mean, last year, really, the beginning of it was just lost because of a stupid suspension. This guy is ultra talented coming out of Bama. I think we finally get to see what he's capable of. And I think for a buck, man, he's another guy to stash. And I feel like he turns into your wide receiver 3 at near the halfway through the season. And every once in a while, he puts up wide receiver 1 numbers. That's what I'm thinking. I think it'll be a little more up and down with him. But I think the upside for Jameson Williams is so incredibly high. I can't believe he's only a buck.
Yeah, absolutely. You should get him on all your teams. Again, it's harder. We've talked about this. It's harder for us being Lions fans to get him. We never get him this cheap. But clearly he's out there that cheap in a lot of drafts. If he's under $2. It's a lottery ticket. Put him on the end of the bench. Like, he has the talent. Look what he did in the San Francisco game last year. He showed those signs, and he is so quick. They're going to find ways to get him the ball. They need to. The Lions need Jameson Williams to work right now. They really do. They don't have a lot of other options after St. Brown and Laporta. They truly don't. They need Jameson to be the guy. They just cut Donovan Peoples-Jones too. He didn't work out.
Yeah.
So Jameson Williams is going to get all the chance in the world. Love the pick. And then I'm going to go with my next one. I'm going to go Blake Corum. He's 1.4.
Love it.
Man, I really think he's going to have a good role on this team, on the Rams. Kyren Williams played like everything last year. I just can't see that happening. They drafted Corum for a reason, to take away some of the work. They can't have Kyren do that. And I think Blake Corum's going to do very well. And he's one where if Kyren Williams were to go down, why can't he have a really good season? He's a good running back. I don't think he's like this crazy top end prospect, but he's a good, solid running back who should be, if he gets the opportunity, he's going to put in some good numbers. So Blake Corum, you can probably get him. He's 1.4 average right now on ESPN, and I'm going to have him on a lot of teams too. So
yeah, I absolutely love that pick. First of all, Kyren, if he gets hurt, you have, great. But even if he doesn't, I think he's going to be very worthwhile. And you saw what Kyren was able to do last year. Maybe you think Kyren is still a better running back than Blake Corum is. But I think that is actually a relatively good offense that he's going to be going into, better than other people think. Like, It feels like, it took a hit, but you're going to have Stafford back. You should have a healthy Kupp. You have Puka now. There's a lot to like there, and he has he can be a very solid running back. So most running backs, if they split time, go for way more than this, right? I don't know. I think you're getting a huge deal. I love that pick.
Yep. So, all right. I wanted to throw out J.K. Dobbins too. Just also say his name one more time.
Yeah.
He's like 1.6. I like J.K. But yeah, I think that's there's a couple good options on there for this cheap. I like it. And I'll say I'm gonna ask you a question. If Dalvin Cook is meeting with the Cowboys, if he were to sign, would you pick him up for $1?
I think automatically he'd become their best running back.
You think he's better than Zeke? So he's a $1 player?
I think he's better than Zeke now in this point of his career. For $1, absolutely. So because right now, I would throw Dowdle on my bench because you don't know. Zeke, the thing about Zeke is I don't think he is going to be nearly as productive as we want in fantasy as a runner, but he does everything else so well that I would want him on an NFL team.
Yep.
But if you're asking me, do I want him on my fantasy team? Very unlikely.
So you'd rather go right now, spend $1 and get Dalvin Cook at the very end of the bench. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, find out.
See what happens. All right. There we go. There's some $1 auction draft gems for you. Talk to you guys next time.